Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. All right, everybody, we are back. And one of the great guests here everybody loves, Tom Smith. Welcome
Thanks,
back,
man.
my friend.
Yes, thank you so much.
I
love being here with you. This is awesome.
I love having you on, man. And it's a sad day because I understand that this for now is our last show, so I don't want to waste any time here. All I can tell you is if you guys, I know you guys have questions for Tom, use the instant feedback, and maybe if this time at the end, we'll try and get to it. But Tom is going to hopefully just, I would think, maybe give us a kind of a recap. Let me just hand it over to Tom because you guys are going to love what he has to say. He's made so much sense. Tom, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, man. It's been a great opportunity. Thanks to Podcast Business News Network and you, my friend, of giving me the opportunity to have this voice that I've never had before. I have no idea where all this is going to go, but now I do have a YouTube page that people can go to. So they can just go in and search P. Thomas Smith Counseling LLC, and then all my shows are on there.
Awesome.
From the beginning, I want to make sure people understand as I walk them through what all of this library of work looks like. Here's my disclaimer, I'm not black and I'm not white, I'm not red and I'm not blue. I'm an American veteran who loves my country and the people that live in it. I speak truths. There's been much research in all of these shows. So it's not like I'm just winging it. I actually know what I'm talking about. I usually don't throw out the whole certified 9 different areas of counseling because no one really cares. But I do have a lot of background, but more importantly, boots on the ground experience on my personal life that I kind of walk people through that we've done over the last several months. So what I want to talk about is within this library, we started off because the most important topics I feel in the country today is, veteran suicide. No one has an answer. It's continuing. Veteran suicide's horrible, but when you look at civilian suicides, the numbers are even like double or triple. It's just we live in a very scary time now, and a lot of people that are not mentally healthy that cannot receive the help that they need, this is their out because they don't know how to combat it. So I've taken it. If you're a veteran or you're a veterans organization or you know a veteran, man, I cannot. If I could give you money to make you get this stuff to go viral, because I'm trying so hard to help these veterans just to understand what's going on with the brain, with the PTSD. And so I walk everybody through the beginning stages of what a veteran, who we are, what our backgrounds look like, why we choose the branches that we choose, what our boot camps look like, what the conditioning of the brain looks like, and walk people through that we're hardwired to be able to serve in the military. When we come out, we're still hardwired, but we're no longer a part of that organization. And now we're back in a civilian world where nobody really gives a crap about anything, practically, to be really honest. And so if you are a veteran's family, God, please, man, please watch these and help your fellow brothers. I work with so many organizations, Casey, and we all talk amongst ourselves. And a lot of these guys that run these foundations are veterans who are combat. They've been blown up, shot, whatever, in Afghanistan, and they come back and they go through all this horrendous. I know a guy that's had, I think, 18, 19 surgeries, which, sounds like a lot, but there's others that I've had more. And it's just, it's really difficult to watch them. And then all of us try to help veterans. And so my word is to the veterans, man, come on, guys, you got to get help. I mean, a lot of them won't. Some of them it's a badge of honor, but it's like your parents, your children, your wives, your husbands, all these people deserve to have you back. And I'm telling you, you can come back, but you're going to have to put the work in. So, man, spread the word, make sure people know what's going on. And after the beginning of these shows, we moved into, because that last show that we did, was really difficult for me as far
It
as
was a
the
great show,
Americans
though.
taking back America.
It was an
Oh,
amazing show.
Casey, these shows, man, people don't realize it in just the 20 some minutes that we're together, how much it takes out of me. Because you're right. I do give everything I have there. I don't
Passion.
hold anything back. Yeah. And so it's because I really truly care. This is my calling. This is why God created me. And I had to walk through the whole path of my life to get to this point, to be able to look back and say, hey guys, I found a way. And so that's really for me what it is giving information to help.
You even talk to the
But now
kids.
moving in, yeah, I know, man. That was really cool, and I'm gonna a little bit more about that in a minute. But I got into Americans Taking America Back, and that's those two segments we were talking about what's going on in our country today, and how our moral compass has been stolen, and how we've been separated. And I've been watching some reels, and I've got to throw this out there, man, because I am not. There's not a racist bone in my body, and I'm not prejudiced. I grew up in the South in the '70s, man. The black dudes and the black sisters were they were my closest friends. I lived close to the hood. I mean, I love these guys. I could ride through the hood on my bike and they'd be like, yo, Smitty, I just love them. And so all these guys now I'm seeing pop up on reels that are black dudes, and you're like, whoa, sup? I'm not prejudiced. I'm not against white people. And I'm like, dude, get your voices out there to BLM. And Obama started this crap years ago to separate us. Him and his wife, there's two people that hate white people more in the world than these Obamas. So anyway, yeah, that's right. I did say that. But we as a people, man, need to come together. Red, yellow, black, and white. We're all precious in his sight, man. And we need to take our country back. And we do that by going to the polls. I don't know if that show is going to get out there soon enough for people to really see that. But it was really important for me to be able to voice that, to give people encouragement, and to help them understand that we can't look to the government for help any longer. Those days are long gone. Their whole objective around the world is to destroy us, and everybody become this world leader, and everybody's jockeying for position right now because America is the weakest it's ever been in its entire history, because we have no leadership whatsoever. Everything's gone woke, and especially in the military. Hey, man, you guys need to step on off of these military people, with all your vaccinations and we're kicking you out and all this woke stuff. Hey, man, if we don't have our military as strong as it needs to be, then yeah, we're in a lot of trouble. But it really concerns myself as well as other veterans, as much as the history that we've put in, with lives and blood and messed up lives mentally and physically, to sacrifice so much to have these politicians disrespect us and treat us like we're second class citizens. Don't piss us off, man, because we might be old, but we still know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they need to give our military a whole lot more props. One of the shows that we did recently that I loved, because starting back in '91 is when my life really took off as being a speaker into high schools and working with high school kids and speaking to tens of thousands of them. That was probably the highlight of out of everything that I've done. I love that the most. I mean, because I'm still the coolest old dude they know. You know what I'm saying? I still have a passion for kids. I have two 21-year-old boys and a 19-year-old. I had a 17-year-old. God bless him. Jesus took him. But I love kids, man. I just, and I still want to be there for them. And I hope that they understand that we now in America need them more than we ever have before in our history. It scares me because they're super lazy. It scares me because they're confused. They're trying to make them question who they are, what they are. Dude, you can't do that, man. I mean, you really can't do that. And unfortunately, the kids that are really super amazing, you never get to hear about them. And Casey, when I was back when I had my educational College Insider resources back in the mid 2000s, I had shared about in the video that I had 1.5 million leads worldwide. I mean, we were a worldwide company online, my partner and I, and it was really amazing. And it was a merit-based scholarship, meaning I don't care really what your grades are. I want to know who you are, what's your merits. And so they would have to write an essay. Casey, I read several essays where I had to stop and I just wept because of the
Right.
life. They take you into your life. Example, one kid, I'm a senior in high school. I have a 3.8 GPA. Both of my parents are disabled, so I have to work 40 hours a week to take care of them and my siblings and pay all the bills. And I still go to school, and I have this GPA, and I hope to be able to go to college with this money because I need to be able to make good money to be able to support my family. There's example one. And it goes on and on and on. The most heart wrenching. So there are so many amazing young men and
Amazing
women
kid like
that are
that.
walking into high schools that never, all you ever get to see is them beating somebody up on the street and robbing them, or on the subway, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I just, I wish somebody would just start a network where there's like nothing but really super great news. And I'm going to pitch this out there, man. Newsy, they're out of Atlanta, Georgia. I've been watching them on TV. That is the most amazing new network, because when they discuss politics, they just report it. They don't give any opinions. They talk about all the amazing people that are in the world and the amazing thing that's going on. And when people start to realize that, they're going to start falling in, because we need to get away from all of this muck and mire and terrorizing us, and it's all fear driven to make us a weaker people. And if we can start thinking for ourselves, and I discussed this in earlier shows and different shows,
Mhm.
start spending time with yourself, not only young people, but parents that are single adults. I was one for quite a while, taking care of my two sons when I first got divorced. I understand the stress and how hard that is, but you've got to take care of yourself, mom and dad, or usually moms. I understand you're trying to feed them and pay bills in today's society, and I know it's incredibly stressful. But even if you could go into the bathroom and lock the door for 5 minutes just to have some peace and quiet, and to do deep breathing, and to take care, self-care of yourself, it's just a really super scary situation that we're in. And so I discussed all that stuff with those kids. And my passion in doing all of these shows, Casey, is that all this stuff has been in my head for a long, long time. And I had the opportunity within 23, 24 minutes to be able to put these into some type of an order to be able to educate people. That's really, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not, I'm not famous, I'm not rich or anything. I'm a simple dude that loves people and that has a calling on his life to serve others. And in this community, and in this world that we live in today, if I could just leave a message for anyone that would ever watch this, it's a very scary time. We are in a massive reset in the world like we've never seen before in history. There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of doubt. But I'm just going to be me for a second, Casey,
Sure.
because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
Everything that I've talked about here, and when I say it's a calling in my life, when I was young, I knew that I was going to do something significant in this world, because my mother told me, you're a special child of God. You're going to have a really, really hard life, but your faith is going to see you through. She told me this when I was very young. I had no idea how hard. I don't know that, but at one time years ago, I mean, man, I was pretty close to homeless. I've struggled like you wouldn't believe. I've lived off of peanut butter and jelly. Um, I mean, my life has been hard, but my faith has gotten me through. What that means is, when there's a higher power, I call God, he is called the great I am, and I believe in him, and I know that his power and his authority is over my life, and he gives me wisdom and he gives me favor. I can speak these things of truth because they're anointed. People are scared to death of what's going on in the world today, and if you don't know him, man, you have a right to be, because it's going to get horrific. But and I'm not preaching, dude, because I'm not a preacher either. I'm just a simple dude that loves the Lord.
I gotcha.
He saved my life. He saved my life. And so when we look at what's going on today, if you don't know the Lord, I'm just going to tell you right now, if you've seen any of my videos and you don't believe in him, you now should believe in him, because I am I am saved by him, taken from all the drugs, which wasn't a lot of I just like weed. Okay. I'm not a drug addict. I just like to smoke up
Okay.
back in the day. And I've had problems here and there, sometimes with alcohol when I was really young. But he came into my life on a Friday night, and in the barracks of my bathroom, and I gave my life to him. And ever since then, man, when I was 21 years of age, my mind was completely renewed, and my entire walk has been pretty much alone with him, to be able to prepare me for this moment in my life. And so, if you don't know him, all you got to do is just ask him, Jesus, into your life, man, and ask him to forgive your sins, because people that are in the world that don't know him, I have absolutely no idea how you even get out of bed, because it would be terrifying to me. But I want people to understand this. Everybody's really super scared right now. What's going on with all these people with their fingers on the buttons, dying to blow us
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
God said, man will not destroy the earth. I will. So before all of this craziness blows up, I want people to have peace in mind that know God, that if all this goes down, we're not going to be here to watch it. It's going to be horrific. But by knowing God and Jesus coming back to us, when all this goes down, it's not going to affect us. God's not going to let man, we're not going to blow each other up. Jesus will come back before then. I know that's really super heavy for a lot of people, but I just know that because I spend time with him every day and I am plugged into the right channels and the right people and the right information of watching what the end times looks like. And dude, we're in it. I mean, it's just crazy. But I'm not afraid though, brother. I have more peace. I have more joy. Peace and joy. The only place you can find that is in a relationship with the Lord. You can buy as much as you want stuff to make you happy, but after a while, that new car, new shoes, and new whatever is going to get old, and you're going to have to buy it again. That is God's gift to us by having a relationship with Him, is that we actually get to sit in peace and we get to sit in joy, and that's where I live. And so I stopped watching the news, and I don't really care. Um, I don't want to say what happens because I do, but me and all of my family are set, man. We're all headed that way. We ride in the bus together, and I get to go see my parents again. I get to go see my son, and it's going to be a great celebration. So for those of you that are afraid, man, I'm not preaching to you. Seriously, just all I'm saying is this simple little dude, God changed his life, and He can do the same for you. And I'm not preaching, man. I'm just saying it's really that simple, and I hope that people can find their way that way. So I just had to. It's really interesting. I hadn't planned on saying that, but I guess I was led to. So whoever needed to hear that, hopefully will hear it.
I'm
And I
sure
mean,
someone
anybody
needs
ever
to hear
wants to
that.
talk about anything, well, I just want people to know that you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. And in knowing Him and having a relationship, you don't have to be afraid. He's got it. He's got it all in the palm of His hands. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do anything. You
Right.
just have to believe and have faith. And that in and of itself is the peace and the joy that you find in doing that. So this has been a super great opportunity for me. And I am getting ready to be put on Comcast there in New York through PBN, or Podcast Business News, yeah, PBN, and they're getting the big billboards up in Times Square, so they're
Oh,
going to really
nice.
start pushing all this, Casey. So
Nice.
I don't know what's going to happen from that. If it's shown in TV in New York, somebody might see it. That would be really cool. But depending upon the reaction, um, the response, the support will depend on if I continue on this way. I'll do some more things on my own and post it on, but
And you got the
this
YouTube
is
channel, which is big too, right?
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I will continue doing things on there. People want to hear different topics. I have loved this. If I had a chance down the road to do it again, I would do it again, because it's just been so powerful and it's been so hopefully life changing.
Doing great shows.
The people that have watched it, I've had great feedback, and for that, I'm really grateful. But I just hope that people will support this, and I have no preconceived ideas about being rich or famous. I don't care about any of that. I just want one person to be able to say, "Wow, thank you. You've changed my life," and that's what my calling is really all about. So I'm going to miss our visits on Monday.
Yeah, me too.
It's been incredible, but I'm getting ready to hook up with a new organization called Veterans Inc. They are out of Massachusetts, and I'm going to be helping veterans get off the street, get permanent housing with
Awesome.
those guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to get to continue my work as I've always been doing, and helping veterans to continue that work.
Hey,
And so
Tom,
they're an amazing organization.
how can people
Yeah,
donate to you or help your cause? How can people? Where's the best way to do that?
you know, uh, uh, P.
The
Thomas
website?
Smith Counseling at gmail.com. I can get them a link or whatever to be able to help, donate to support me. I would love to have somebody that is not necessarily a corporate sponsor, so they own you. You got to tell, you got to pitch their products, which I don't have a problem doing, but I would love to find somebody that has enough money to be able to make this go a little bit bigger.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Take it to the next level, so to speak,
Hmm.
and then be able to continue these, because I really love doing this. It's been a
Yeah, no,
blessing.
it's terrific. Now, give that out one more time, please.
P. Thomas Smith Counseling at gmail.com.
Okay.
I am on Facebook, P. Thomas Smith Counseling LLC. Um, but I'm driving everybody to YouTube, P. Thomas Smith
YouTube. You
Counseling
can see the
LLC.
videos and
Will
everything.
take you, yeah, everything's loaded right there. And I just hope some people, man, get something out of all these. And
Gotcha. Well,
it's
Tom,
been a great experience.
you got a little more than 5 minutes, but I want you to know, if you ever wanted to go, the audience has a bunch of things to ask you. If you ever wanted to go back, so just let me know if you want to do that. but I want to give you the floor here because you're going and you're wrapping up on a great series here. So if you ever want to go over there, just let me know.
There's people that have questions.
Yeah, yeah. You want to take
Oh,
one?
I'd be happy to answer the questions. Yeah, man.
All right, Mr. Producer, why don't we take a question from the instant feedback there?
Jen in Dallas wants to know, what would you say to kids who only want to go to the military because they can't afford education?
Well, that's the reason why 95% of them go to the military. The thing about it is you have to be really careful of what they say, because they'll pump dollars at them like crazy. There are stipulations. So it's not like they're going to just say, oh, hey, man, you sign up and come into the Army and we're going to pay for all your education for the rest of your life. There are stipulations. I would go into the military because it's the right thing to do, not just to serve your country, but I mean, I just look what it's done to me, man. I was a punk. I mean, and it changes. I wish every kid in the country had to go for 1 year, just 1 year, so that way they could really see what real life is about. Builds character. It builds self-esteem. It gives you belonging and purpose. And so, for your son or any kid that wants to go into the military, I would do that before you go to college, unless you know for sure you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, teacher, nurse, whatever. You're not really sure. Do not waste your money on college. You got to pay that crap back. Go into the military, grow up like I did, and you may fall in love with it, and it may be your career choice for the rest of your life.
Tom, I got a question
Love
for
the
you.
question.
I thank you for that question, but I got a question. I think a lot of people can relate to this. I know a kid who's in high school. The kid pretty much has been able to quit everything that he's tried. He has that control to do that. If he signs up for the military, is he there? I mean, once he signs, he can't quit that. He's got to stay, or can he bow out of that too?
Now, here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. It's a super great question. You will sign a contract once you decide you're going to go in. You do not, that's just basically so that way they have you contracted so they can start doing all the background, all the physicals, all the this and the that. It's not until you actually step into the room to raise your right hand to swear in to when you sign and then you go. Up until that moment, you can back out. I remember when I went to AFES and they were like, where's so and so and so and so? They weren't there when we went to pick them up. Where's so and so and so and so? They didn't show up. Those kids backed out and they were okay with that. Once you sign and you're in, you are in. You are a property of the United States government.
Okay.
And you don't quit. And but just give it a chance. You know what I'm saying to the kids?
Yeah.
Dude, if you really want to go, it's got to be in your heart. This isn't just like I'm going to give it a shot. Not in the military, you won't.
No,
You know,
no.
you got to have a real passion for it. But if you get the right thing that you want to be, dude, you can go into nursing, you can go into psychiatry, you can go into dentistry, you can go into the medical field. It's just, you can be an executive chef. It could teach you all these things. The best training in the world's in the military. People don't even know that.
Right. Is this before or after boot camp? Where you sign?
So right before you go. So
Okay.
in other words, they'll take you into the room, you raise your right hand, you do your you do your oath, and then you sign the contract, and then they shuffle you off, and then you're getting on the whatever train, plane,
And they got you.
bus,
You can't
and
leave.
yeah, once you sign that, you're gone.
Got it.
Yeah,
I love
you
your
can't sign
idea
that.
about
Yeah, I
the
mean,
1 year thing. I love
especially
that.
it's just or even try the reserves, man. I mean, that's just once a month, that you have to do drill, but you're still in the military. You still have to go to boot camp. They could call you up, and every year for 2 weeks, you get to go play. They call them weekend warriors, you know. But you get to experience it, and then if you really, really like it, then you can roll your contract over into going in full time.
Gotcha.
But the guys and the gals that join the military, they might have had a really horrible experience, but they love it. It's changed our life, and for the rest of your life, you get to be a veteran,
Gotcha.
and all that comes with it.
All right. So, Tom, so you got 5 minutes left here. I'm going to give it to you. I want you to have the floor here for last. If you want to take more questions, we can do that. But I'm giving you the
I'd like to do one more if you have
Sure.
one.
Mr. Producer.
I love that.
Okay.
We have Allison in Salt Lake City says, my husband just came home from active duty recently and he seems quiet. Should I talk to him or let him come around on his own?
The reason why they are quiet, they are lost and they're processing. They don't really know what to do. They're in a new world. If you're saying that he's just coming home, is in cultural shock. All you can really do is love them, treat them as normal as possible. Eventually, they will start to come around somewhat, but do not let them slide off into the abyss. Do not let them just become withdrawn and stay away from everybody, because that's what they're trying to do, because they don't know how to communicate or to have interactions with people yet. So the brain's still super hardwired.
Yeah.
It is still in fight or flight. He's just trying to process. So let him have some room, let him breathe, but love on him, massive words of encouragement, because that's what they need to hear. They need to start hearing words of affirmation about how much they're loved, how much they're needed, how much they're wanted, how appreciated they are, and then help them with that walk eventually.
Nice. Thank you for that. A great question and a great answer. And we're down to 2 minutes here. So let me give you the last two to wrap this and bring it home. I've loved every episode. So I'm going to get as much out of you as I can. So you got the floor, my man.
Well, with those questions and people calling in, and I could sit here and do this for like hours, man. I mean, I absolutely love helping people. This again is my calling. So I don't know where this is going to go again, Casey. All I can do is share my heart. All I can do is do the best that I can. I don't control really anything. If the Lord wants to open this up and it'd be huge, that's what's going to happen. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm good. I still want to serve people. I'm still going to be in the community of Billings, Montana, and I'm still going to help these veterans and these organizations. And, you were talking about supporting me, dude. I would go anywhere and speak anywhere. I'll do anything for money, because the more money that I get to help all these grassroots organizations that are not all over the TV like we see all the time, but they're the ones that's actually doing the helping of a veteran face to face, changing their life, providing what's needed for them. And so that's why I want to raise money. I don't really care about myself. I'm fine.
Right.
But whoever's out there, man, that sees this, that wants to get involved, check out also Veterans Inc. That's one of the organizations in the country that does probably some of the most good that most people don't know about. They deal with housing, jobs, food, education. They do all that. So I'm really super excited about partnering with them and being able to help them here in my community. And just from my heart to you guys, man, God bless each and every one of you in the United States of America, and each and every one of you that are struggling. I pray God's blessing on you, man. And I pray that you do find some peace, and I hope that you give him an opportunity to come into your life and make that difference that only he can make. And so, hey, I love all of you guys, man. Whoever you are, what color you are, I don't really care. I don't care if you're rich or poor. I don't care who you are, because he doesn't. I'm here for you. P. Thomas Smith Counseling at gmail.com, and we'll have a conversation.
What a great guest. You're an awesome guy, and same to you, my friend.
Blessings,
my
brother.
friend Tom Smith, everybody who wrote in, thank you so much. And,
Yes, thank you.
Can't wait to hear what you have to say next.
Take care, my brother.
Be with you, Tom.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.